Good evening again from Yummy B TV. Wishing you all well, sending loads of love as usual. Now, the subject I'm raising now, and this involves a very, very chilling story about alleged men taking the law into their own hands. I'm talking about a story now which is allegedly, we're going on what the papers say, we're going on about what I've read, what I've heard, that kind of stuff. Not from what he's told me. Chrissy Pearman, old villain, old man now, on his last bits. Don't even know if he's around now. Marina, my angel, sending loads of love, darling. But what do we think about taking the law into our own hands? That if your son dies, if your daughter dies at the hands of somebody else, on a tragic night out, or on circumstances alone. We've heard about, other cases where shots are fired and those that are nearby get hurt and die. And they had nothing to do with it whatsoever. But this one's a real tragic case. This is my part one. I've got many more of these. And sometimes I wonder what we would do when faced with the same set of circumstances. Even me, as a law-abiding citizen now, if I lost somebody close to me, or my son, my daughter, and it was at the hands of somebody else, how would I take it? Are the law to be trusted about bringing justice to this thing? Are witnesses reliable to be trusted to do their jobs properly so that justice is served? But allegedly, one night, you're out in a nightclub. Your son's there, your son's brother's there, your cousin's there, and you end up in an altercation. You know what it's like in these places when you go out. This is why I avoid it all. Because there's too much alcohol, too much drugs, and everybody on a boisterous thing. And doormen sometimes think they have the power of God, that they can manhandle you and do as they please with you. But only on this night, you go so way over the top that you kill a member of somebody's family. So how would me and you feel if that was me and your son or daughter or whatever? Would we rely on the law and the justice system to make sure that everything, pans out? Would it hurt us so much that we couldn't recover from it? Could we ever feel the same? Because I'll tell you one thing, there's certain family members in my life that if anything ever happened to them at the hands of somebody else, as a straight going and an ex-offender now, I wonder if how I would take it. Would I, be the man I am today and say, look, Your Honor, sir, I'd like to report a crime. My son's been killed. But anyway, allegedly, trouble starts, doormen get involved, restraint takes place, fighting takes place. Your son dies. Somebody else gets hurt or somebody else dies. I don't know all the facts. Remember, this is not him telling me this. All I know is that I've known him 20, 30, 40 years over the years. He's an old man now. And I had a couple of words with him, and his heart's never been the same since he's lost those close to him. Does he feel responsible in some way? Does he have any guilt over anything? He wasn't there. He didn't do anything. He didn't egg it on. He didn't do, But the power that certain people hold in jobs and things like that can go way, way, way over the top. So you end up killing a member of somebody's family. And then months go by. One night, a man appears, goes through the back garden, door, whatever, window, appears, sees you, shoots you dead. Another time, another man gets maimed, shot, harmed, months later. It so turns out, on another occasion, during the case of this case in particular, where a man gets shot on a piece of transport or train or bus or something like that. But it's the wrong man. It's not a man that was involved that night. It's not even a man that was there. You see what I mean? So another man loses his life or whatever. But let me tell you a funny bit about this as well before we go into the serious nature of taking the law into your own hands when the law system's not trusted enough to do their job properly. Do we, do we rely on them, or do we cover it or whatever? Do we go along with it? I'm a law-abiding citizen now, and I would want to do the right thing now and trust in justice itself. But I'll never forget the day when, imagine I'm in Belmarsh and Diney with his one hand comes in and he says to me, Yami, there's a man that owes me round the corner. He's taking liberties with me. He owes me money. I said, all right, then come on in like I used to. Knock on the door, go in, I look and I see, it's Chrissy Pearman, one of my oldest friends. Owes you 50 quid or 100 quid or something, or you're trying to mug him off. Well, I don't know what you're doing. But you're saying to him, yeah, where's my money? I want it now. Like, I'm saying, yeah, hold on a minute. Yeah, he's got money. Don't worry, it can be sorted. It's not something that where you're going to know, no, I want it now. I want it sorted. It's taken too long. So you end up trying to grab him up. Old man Chrissy Pearman, But because you got one hand, you're a handicap anyway. You end up falling down the back of the bed while he's trying to struggle back, like he is, like the fighter he is, Chrissy Pearman. And you end up down the bottom of the bed, but it ends up so that he's on top of you. So now I've got to go, yeah, hold on a minute. Yeah, Chrissy, look, just leave it. Look, drop all this out. We'll stop all this. Leave it as it is. You'll get the money, Dine. Don't worry about that. And I get him out of a sticky position, really. Because Chrissy could have had his wicked way with him, old man or not. You see what I mean? So that's during before the trial that he has to go on. But having known the man, or known all those years, I know that he's talking heartfelt stuff to me every day and he's waiting for his moment to die. I don't know whether he's alive now, and I really hope that he is. And, he got sentenced for whatever he got sentenced for, because one of those murders, allegedly, one of those doormen that were meant to have played a part in killing his son, a man turns up in the middle of the night through the back garden and bang, 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 bang. He's dead. Another time he turns up somewhere else months and months later. Another man gets shot, gets injured, he can't walk again or whatever. Eventually another man gets shot months and months later. But he's nothing to do with the case that night. He wasn't nothing to do with the over-the-top doorman violence kind of thing. So the wrong man's been shot. All familiar tale? Because somebody said he looks like this and it was like that, pointed him out. Not Chrissy, Probably might be somebody that knows him, might be somebody that, somebody that is close by or whatever, who's taking revenge, or coincidence that these doormen have done it to other people and they're getting their comebacks without the eyes of the law. You see what I'm saying? But he ends up going on trial for it all. I don't care whether I live or die, my heart can never be the same. Whether he holds guilt for his son or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He hardly cares anymore, because he knows the one things that what you love the most, your son, your daughter, your grandchild, your cousin, your loved one or whatever, that can never be mended for some people. And for most people, it cannot be mended. Sad to say. Trust in the justice system. How many times have we seen they let people go scot-free? I'm hearing you let one of them go scot-free anyway. You see what I mean? justice being served to be done? No. But do we have a right to take the law into our own hands? Uncle Yami says, no, we don't. But I can understand it, because the hurt, how would I feel now as a man if you troubled anyone close to me and it hurt me that bad? Me, phone the police, yes, blah, 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 help me, convict. I know it might be him and that, damn, we're wrong on the grass. God, yeah, trying to get justice served. Are they reliable enough to do it properly? Who knows? But no, some people, and this is my part one, because I've got many like this, where men are serving life sentences with serious recommendations of life sentences, of tariffs, that are never to ever to be released, because they took the law allegedly into their own hands. You hear me? So we talk about that night in someone's house, he dies. We talk about another time a man got shot. We talk about a man that wasn't there, who accidentally, mistaken identity, dies. Chrissy says it's not him. He goes on trial for it, he gets found guilty. Right? And he serves his sentence, so he's still serving his sentence. Poor man. Never been the same. All right, hardened criminal, bad background. What would you do? Tell me. Very debatable question. What would you do if it was your daughter, your nephew, your grandchild, your thing? What would you do? Tell me honestly. What would you do, or what would you feel the right thing to do? Would you want to take revenge, or would you want to leave it to the law? I hope to do the latter, me, you know, as a man now. But I wonder if it would hurt that bad, especially when you got love these days. For, you know, the longer that I've been out, the longer that I love now more and more people. And that's not without family. That's out with like some of my angels. If something happened to them, how would I feel? I can feel the hurt. I never used to feel it. But I wonder how I would react. And I could say that I hope to react the right way. But there's many out there that will say, no, 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 no. And I know of many cases where they said, no, 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 no. No, I don't care. The hurt is so bad that I want revenge myself. And I want to go and do my thing. And I don't care, because without those loved ones in my life, I will never feel the same again. You see what I mean? So you're sacrificing your life, whatever's left of it, for those feelings of, without that, I am nothing. Very, very tragic cases I've bumped into along the years, Uncle Yami. I'll be highlighting some of these things. So this is, you know, a tale of, obviously allegedly, it's only what the police say and what others say and whatnot, and then you get the mistaken identity of someone dying and nothing to do with it. All too familiar story. How many times have I heard that along the years? That the man that you're meant to go for, or you shouldn't be going for, but you're going for, but it isn't him. Someone's pointed out the wrong man. But the power of those in positions of trust, we understand you have a job to do, but sometimes you take it way, way over the top. And you think you're a law above yourself, that you can just take people's lives and then walk away scot-free and say, yeah, no, nothing to do with me. I've got back up here by him. He was there, he was there, they was there. But that's just one tale. And that's my story for tonight. I've got a part 2 and part 3 and part 4 for you. Someone, I know you different. There's the old case from Brixton where no one's around no more. Everybody died through revenge of some kind, of getting your own back tit for tat. How many times along the years, the old adage of revenge, Does it pay? You know, do the wrong people get convicted over because that happened in your place? That fits that if it was your son, or if that fits if it was your, that means that it has to be you, or you fit the criteria because you was on this bit, on that bit, on that. But maybe it's not you, but maybe it's somebody that took it to heart apart from you, that went and done a job and said, nah, I ain't letting you get away with that. So just a little thought for you tonight on what would you do? Honestly, how could you take it? Put yourself in a position of a feeling of losing someone you really, really love. The right thing to do is leave it to the law. That's what we're here. That's how the rules are, I'm afraid. But there's many, 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 many that don't believe in that. And I'll be coming with part 2. Love you loads.